Hey Pisces, welcome. This is a daily message for the sign of Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. I'm doing this on January the 9th. It's Thursday. So let's see what Pisces is dealing with today. I do these Pisces specific readings because I personally find them helpful when I watch readings for myself, and Pisces is not my sun sign. It's a different placement in my chart, but I find it helpful for myself, and I find that my readings for the collective don't get as much views, so I feel like people aren't as interested in the collective dailies. So I'm going to go back to the Pisces daily because that's what I enjoy and learn from personally. So if you would like to see a different, or if you would like to see the collective reading as well as a Pisces, please comment that in the comments below. Pisces, you come out here with the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is traditionally liar, cheater, thief, betrayal card, but it can also be a card of planning and strategizing something. So let's just see which way this goes for you today. Nine of Wands. Closing the door on something. And we have Judgment in the reverse. All right, so right off the bat, Pisces, what I'm getting here is I feel like there could have been some, because swords have to do with the mind, right? I feel like there could have been some kind of, I don't want to say deception in the mind, but I feel like we could have jumped to negative conclusions or negative thinking about something right off the bat in an attempt to protect ourselves with this Nine of Wands here in the reverse. The Nine of Wands in the upright, she kind of has this covering over her head like she's trying to protect herself, which makes me think, you know, this is why she's on guard and why she has built certain walls, because trying to protect herself because she's been wounded in the past. I feel like there's something here about, especially with this Judgment card in the reverse too, I feel like it's asking us to release this. Like, this is a wake-up call for us. I feel like there's something here about us letting ourselves be vulnerable, and in the process of that, because if you think about whatever we have continuously going in our mind is, you know, that's what we stem from. That's what we react from. And I feel like it's an energy to not only that, because other people can feel our energy. So I feel like there's the desire to change this negative thinking that we have had in the past that has served the purpose of us trying to keep ourselves safe and not open and vulnerable. The Lovers. So it does have to do with choices. It does have to do with temptation. Look, that's interesting because this looks like Adam is tempting her with the apple, and yet she has protection there. Interesting, very interesting. I feel like this could be Adam is presenting a temptation to go back to our negative self-protective thinking, and Eve is standing here with her representative, the snake, that's like, you got to go through me first. So I feel like, just from what I'm seeing here, I feel like there's something about establishing a healthy barrier to the temptation of that negative thinking that we seem to resort to. And I think it happens automatic. Like, I think that it's just our mind honestly just first thing jumps to worst case scenario. How do I need to protect myself in this situation, you know? So I feel like something about this. I feel like we've wanted to change this and maybe didn't know how because we didn't want to leave ourselves open and vulnerable and maybe even naive or something. Snakes can actually have to do with wisdom and healing. So I feel like in the face of some temptation that we have to resort back to this negative method of operation or negative, it's almost like a tool in our toolbox that is just always ready. It's in our pocket. It's always ready. Oh, somebody says this, automatically they're trying to get the upper hand on us. Automatically they're trying to put us lower than them. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thinking. So I feel like something's coming to an end. I feel like there's some kind of successful completion that's coming here when we allow ourselves to not have to operate out of that wounded place because of things that have happened in the past. We have the Three of Wands. This is waiting for our ships to come in, but this is when we have actually put in an investment. We've put in some work towards this. And so whatever we send out is what's going to come back to us, is what I'm getting with that. And so I feel like it's a desire for us to put out more healthy vulnerability, and not in a naive way, but what we put out comes back to us. So if we put that kind of negative energy out, trying to protect ourselves and all, I feel like that's exactly what's going to come back to us. So I think there's something here about operating from a place of wisdom and healing, like I talked about with this temptation here with the Lovers. And also, not just that it's a temptation, it's like we have a choice of how we're going to respond to that. If somebody comes at us with a certain attitude or a certain way, it's like we get to choose how we're going to respond. And I feel like we're wanting to choose higher integrity and from a higher awareness for ourselves as well. Five of Cups is in the reverse. So like I feel like we don't have to keep nursing those wounds anymore, is what I'm getting to. I feel like if we heal from those, and it's taken a long time, look at the spider web here. Like this has been a long time, but I feel like we can come out of that grief and that operating from that much lower vibrational self-pity, whatever place, you know? And we have the Ace of Swords reversed, and we have the Knight of Cups reversed, bottom of the deck. We have Temperance. I love it. Temperance is about balancing things within us, letting something flow. Ace of Swords is in the reverse. This can talk about lack of understanding. I feel like the place that we operated out of before was more of a lack of understanding and more of a protection with that Nine of Wands, protection. So the Ace of Swords, not only is it low vibe, and I just got not true. We have this Knight of Cups here right beside that, where like if you give nothing, you're going to get nothing, you know? So, and again, it goes back to whatever you put out is what you're going to get back. So if you are afraid and holding back on giving your emotions because you're worried that you're going to get hurt or they're going to have the upper hand, that's actually what you're going to get back. So if you are seeing this playing out in your own life, I feel like it's asking us to examine something within us that needs to be balanced. Also, Temperance can talk about patience and being patient with ourselves, being patient with others. Let's see what else we have here. else do we have for Pisces today? Ten of Coins in the reverse. So the Ten of Coins in the reverse, it's like this takes something from us, operating from this place, like that we don't have loyalty, we don't have abundance, we don't have longevity. It's like fake. I just got fake. Like operating from this place, it's not the real deal. It's like superficial is what I just got. The Emperor. I feel like the Emperor with that Nine of Wands is, the Emperor has fought many battles. He's lost some, he's won some. He knows what to do to protect himself. And I feel like he always has his armor on to some degree. But I feel like also the Emperor is wise and disciplined. And he understands the nature of life. I feel like it's something about us getting more control of ourselves so that if somebody comes at us with that negative energy, then we are mature enough and self-assured within ourselves enough to handle it. Four of Wands is in reverse on the Judgment in the reverse. Is this the house that you want to live in? Do you want to keep living in that house? You know, where it's like you don't ever have good foundations with anyone because you can never let yourself be vulnerable enough to trust, you know, and to build something. It's like being overly critical and overly judgmental with that Four of Wands in the reverse. Like, that's the house you live in. That's interesting. The Lovers just came out in reverse on the Lovers in the upright. So I wonder if this is the let them. Like, if somebody does come to you with that negative, self-serving kind of energy, like where they come in hot and heavy on the ego, and I wonder if that Lovers is just like, let them. The World is the Ace of Swords reversed, and look, we have the Ace of Swords reversed under here. So I feel like the victory of the world is going to have to do with us clearing something up within ourselves, coming to some kind of understanding internally about ourselves. Like, I feel like there's something inside that needs to be examined with this Ace of Swords in the reverse. And the Ace of Wands is in the reverse as well. Like, I don't think that we need to hide our light for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's okay for us to ask for what we want and put that out into the universe. But also, I do feel like what you give out is exactly what you're going to get back. And that Ace of Wands reversed is not letting your light dim not dimming your light for others, but also don't put out somebody else's. What is that thing about when you light another match, you burn brighter? So I feel like, you know, when you dampen somebody else's light, you dampen yours as well. Five of Cups reversed is the Tower. So the Tower is when, you know, there's a big shakeup, there's a big change. I think this is like cleaning house internally. We're cleaning house of feeling sorry for ourselves, cleaning house of getting all of the rodents out, getting all of the, getting all of that was not good structure, getting that out, that like extricating that from the castle. Ace of Swords, we have the Knight of Wands. I feel like this is about being self-assured in the direction that you're going in, being self-assured within yourself, and letting that be your guide instead of other people's opinions and validations. What do we have for this Knight of Cups reverse? We have the Eight of Coins. So I feel like, and Queen of Swords is on the bottom of the deck. I feel like there's something here about if you don't give effort will not be given to you. You know what I mean? I just get that whole do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Because even when we don't see it with our eyes, I feel like we can feel it energetically. And I feel like this Eight of Coins reversed with this Knight of Cups reversed, it's like, it's actually to our own detriment and our own progress. Like, I feel like we're hurting ourselves when because it takes more energy to be negative and to be mean or whatever it is than it does just to do something nice and then let it go. You know, I do get the let them, but also I just feel like there's something that needs to change in the mind with the Ace of Swords coming up twice. And I do feel like it has to do with us being self-assured with this Knight of Wands, that we have the freedom to do whatever it is that we want to do. And we're the ones who decide that, not someone else. And that our self-worth and validation does not rely on anybody else. Like, we have the freedom to be us, to be who we are. We do have the Queen of Swords in reverse on the bottom. I do feel like the Queen of Swords is about being judgy. It is about looking down your nose. It's just a very critical kind of energy, and I feel like it's just a really negative, even ego place as well. We have the Star reversed, we have the Two of Swords reversed, the Empress is reversed, and then we have the Four of Swords. So I feel like this is us looking for some kind of peace. I feel like the Star reversed is maybe we do feel less than, we feel like we're not deserving of something. The Two of Swords reversed, I think, take the blindfold off. You're not seeing yourself in the right kind of light, especially with the Empress there in reverse. It's like you're hurting yourself here. And the Four of Swords is give something a rest, and it's restoring peace. Death reversed, I feel like this can be about letting go of old wounds, old arguments, old resentments, old grudges kind of thing. And look, there's the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups she contains her emotions, and she's wise and keeps them in a more positive place so that she doesn't sink into all of the drama of everything that we're seeing here, you know? So I just feel like the message today is about what we energetically think about and feel. We don't even have to say it, but what we energetically think and feel about others is actually how we are going to be judged. We did have Judgment reverse. That's how we're going to be judged back, you know? Because, I mean, even in the Bible, it says, by the measuring stick you judge is what you'll be judged by. And it's not only about speaking it out loud, but our thoughts and feelings have an energetic vibration to it, an energetic magnet to it. So I think that we do have to be careful to keep ourselves somewhat pure in our thoughts and in our mind. And I don't mean that in a way of lying to ourselves. I don't think it's about lying to ourselves. I think it's about us kind of standing guard at the gate of our mind and what gets in and what's allowed in and what isn't. You know what I mean? We have Sacred Union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. I feel like this is... I'm wondering, so two things came to mind with this. I'm wondering if it is the sacred relationship between our heart and our mind, you know, and honor and treasure that within us so that it can't be damaged or hurt by anybody else's. But there's also another side to this that I'm thinking, honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. I feel like this is about any relationship that we have that is, you know, that is meaningful and that we keep in our lives. So I feel like if we honor the sacredness and the treasure of that relationship, instead of being critical and judgy of it, I feel like that's gonna have a big difference in how we feel and what we energetically put out. Only time will tell. And also we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. there is no point in changing that which is beyond our control. So I think it's understanding too, like it doesn't matter how we are feeling, viewing, responding to a situation. Like if we don't like something that somebody does, that's on us, you know, but to find inner peace for ourselves, we have to accept that person as they are and not try to change them. Like your passive aggressive attitude is not going to change them. All it's going to do is probably make them not like you and not understand that maybe you were hurt, you know. Let's get some more. I don't feel like this message is over yet, Pisces. Let's get a couple more oracle cards to close this out. Strategy. That's interesting because we had that 7 of Swords there, which was actually talking about strategy. So I'm wondering if this has to do with us strategizing what are our canned responses going to be whenever these kind of difficulties come up, so that we aren't taken out by surprise. Like, so that like when somebody comes up to us and says something like, this is an energy vampire, as innocent as it is one, and it's also like somebody's kind of like stealing your energy a little bit. You know how people will come up and say something like really negative right off the bat, like, oh, you look really tired today, or are you feeling okay? You don't look very good. Or, you know, it's just something like that. Like, I feel like there's something here about have something in your toolbox to come back at them with that's positive, you know, have something like ready to, and positive to come back with, so that it kind of deflects and it doesn't steal your energy, is what I'm saying. Let's do one more. The Thinking Man, that's in the reverse. Interesting, let's read it. We have Broken Heart in the reverse too. I feel like the Broken Heart reverse just talks about when we heal our own wounds, then we're not so worried about somebody wounding us. You know, let's look at number 46. And it's in the reverse. The thinking man in this position could represent a male in authority who is not acting in your best interest. But this card is more about you than about others in your life. This card in this position usually indicates that such a learning and growth are actually part of your own path and you're not heeding the call. You know what that makes me think right off the bat? This is something that is within us that's being projected out and back to us so that we can fix something within us. Again, healing something within ourselves. So yeah. So when we see something that triggers us in somebody else, we need to examine that, because that's a sign. That's trying to show us something about ourselves. So it's like, examine what that is for yourself. You may be destined to be a therapist, teacher, writer, publisher, psychic, or a healer of some sort. Your soul longs to serve in this capacity, whether professionally or just in your personal life, but something seems to be blocking your way. But it's time to break through and move in this direction now. Remember, what you learned during your growth, you'll be able to share with others, often adding your own compassion and profound personal wisdom. So the affirmation is, I am willing to learn new things. It is safe and comfortable for me to open up and to share. Again, talking about being vulnerable, talking about, instead of being critical of that person, like, oh, I can't believe they had the nerve to do that, or, oh, they think they're better than me because they blah, blah, blah. You know, there's something within you that needs to be examined and worked on and strengthened even. And I feel like it has to do with the healing, and it has to do with the strategy of, once you identify what that thing is, you clean house. You know, you clean house. Also, you don't take things personal anymore. Let's look at number 9, that broken heart in the reverse. The broken heart reverse marks a time of renewal and hope. The pain and trauma are behind you now, and you can trust that greater joy is on the way. Whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, you're now free to move on. Look, this was the 9 of Wands. That was talking about that in the beginning of the reading. The 9 of Wands has built all these walls because she's trying to protect herself, right? So with it being in the reverse, it's like you don't need to keep building those walls anymore. You don't need to keep protecting yourself and waiting for and ready, not only waiting but ready to fire back if somebody tries to cross that. You know what I mean? It's like now there's a certain amount of freedom, but I feel like it comes from this right here, this Emperor, where we've had many battles, we've learned many things from these battles, and it's like instead of keeping ourselves in this state of what is the word that I need for this? Instead of keeping ourselves in this state of poor me and from all of these battles, oh, I've been so wounded. This Emperor is like, yeah, that hurt, and he learned from it. Like he learned lessons from that, so that when that thing comes up again, guess what? It doesn't hurt anymore because he has strategized something within himself. He's cleaned house, and it's like those wounds are healed. All right, let's finish reading this. Broken heart reversed. Yeah, whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, you're now free to move on. The universe has much better things in store for you, so finish letting go of any residual grief and open your life to new self-loving intention. Joyous connections will follow. The affirmation is, I release the pain of the past and live with compassion for myself. Love heals and renews me now. That was beautiful. That's the message that I have. I hope this was helpful for someone out there. I hope you have a beautiful day.